Someone said they were looking for an apartment earlier, and the apartment number that they were looking for, the apartment number was 806, yeah. Well, I know it's been an amazing, actually, if you've been here since pre-conference, 3 full days. And I just wanted to kind of wrap up before Dr. Zandra Jo comes on stage and say thank you for taking the time, the investment to grow professionally, be around other people who are growing professionally, and listen to our amazing speakers. Leslie Lauder, who's still talking right over here. She didn't even hear me. Justin Richardson, who's still here. Waymaker.
When Dale was doing the expert panel and talked about the importance of self-awareness as really a driver for any kind of change. Awesome.
Excuse me, I thought TJ McCrae from Madison Metro really said it best, to keep an eye on and a focus on the students.
I had too many takeaways. Every session was great. All the keynotes were fantastic. To sum it up, I was just in a breakout session with Janelle, and it was awesome because we're focused on Tier 1 instruction. And they did a wonderful job with producing a simplification of something that's very complex. And so for me, it's reflect, simplify, and execute in a way that's conducive to not overcomplicating things.
I was just going to say she took mine. So I attended Cindy's session on AI, and can you imagine like mind blown emoji? The fact that I can dump an Excel sheet into ChatGPT and it spit out certain data analysis pieces, I'm just excited to go back and make everybody do it.
From Austin ISD.
I noticed like several people spoke to sort of the art of subtraction, and in our current context, maybe we need to do less with less instead of trying to do more with more. So a couple people said, someone used the Jobs quote about I'm as proud of the things that I haven't done, or doing fewer things wrong. Innovation doesn't always come from something new. I think Leslie said that. And then Caleb talking about what is enough and what is resilience. And so I think all of that can help us do less and be better.
There you go. No, from this morning about pausing and shutting off. Take time to pause and shut off. And then, like I said behind us about Caleb talking about you're good enough, your results. When he made the comment of, I'm so proud of you, you scored the winning touchdown. That's a good feedback, but that's a process oriented. It's about the process, not the results. A fear of failure and fear of what drives you type of stuff. And that really resonated with me. Are you afraid to fail? And how you were just let's go, and results orientated and that type of stuff. So I really enjoyed that.
I guess you shamed me. You shamed me into a comment. No, I was going to say, and I just wrote notes on paper this week, so I don't know when I wrote them, but there was a session where you talked about building your team, and we brought our team of 10 here today, or the last 3 days, and just spent a lot of time talking together and building that common team and that common language and those opportunities for us to hear the same message and then think about what that means for our district. So it was a great opportunity for teamwork.
So Santa Claus made a trip from across the way, and he dropped off something, and it is a signed football by number 87, Jake Ferguson. And Jake wanted you to have this because of all your support. Ross is a huge, massive Dallas Cowboys fan. And I can tell you, that if Jerry and Steven would just consult with Ross a little bit, the Cowboys would be a lot better off.
And Jake Ferguson is the starting tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, in case you guys were unfamiliar. He's going to kill it this year. So thank you.
All right, now I have the distinct pleasure to bring to the stage our wrap up, Dr. Zandra Galvan from California. Woo!
Thank you. All right, let me get up on stage. I should have asked for some California Love as my walk-up song, huh? I'll sing it to you. California Love. Boom, boom, boom. No, I can't rap. All right, everyone. Well, my mom always taught me that the first thing you experience and the last thing you experience are oftentimes those moments that you walk away with. But given the fact that we just heard from so many of you about the phenomenal experience you had every single day, my work is going to be easy here. So what you see up here in front of you is just a tribute for the next few minutes here about connecting the dots and what you walked away with this conference. And so our acronym we're going to use is SPARKING. So how are we sparking passion-driven leadership in all that we do? And so it's going to bring in some of each of the days that you got to learn a little bit about what we've done. So I want y'all to take out your cell phones. And the first thing that we start with anytime I get in front of people and spaces is an opportunity to give back and give some gratitude out. So earlier in the day, this morning, we got to hear from Justin, my brother from another mother now, and he shared some people in his life that really impacted him in a big way. And so now here's your opportunity to send them a text. So in that moment, I'm going to give you a minute to type a text to someone in your life who you want to pay some gratitude towards. And that's about how we're going to connect the dot when we start off. Thank you to your friend who did some help with you or helped you out something, maybe a colleague, maybe a boss, maybe someone that works for you. So I'm going to give you a minute. Shoot that text to them and just thank you so much for what you did. About 30 more seconds. All right, thank you for doing that. And you'll be surprised that somebody's going to write back to you by the end of these few minutes here together. All right, so first and foremost, I am so grateful to be here in front of you. And as I got to mention a little bit about on the panel, you know, I do stand on the shoulders of giants, but I also stand with and carry and lift up the generations that are coming after me when I lay my hat down and retire. And so in this picture, some people that are just really near and dear to me that I owe a debt of gratitude towards. And so you'll see there in the upper corner there, my papa. If you follow me on social media, you'll know that he is a 92-year-old man that is still feisty and ready to continue to live his life. He's still a farmer, goes out to the ranch. My brother takes him in his tractor every day. He is 92 years old, and he is from Snyder, Texas. And so we are West Texans, tried and true, and all of my brothers and sisters. And then there in the middle, you'll see my family, 2 of my children that are here, and my husband. And so family is really important. And as I talk through today, you're going to hear a little bit about how we spark, how those sparks with family transcends into our leadership and then every position that we then carry with us. And so many of you have a position that you're really grateful for, but how we pay it and how we use our position is going to be really, really important. And so I want to share with you a little bit about my journey. I got to share on that expert panel earlier at lunchtime is, I am a little girl who went through my schools. And so there I am as a kindergartner, my 2nd grade picture, and then 7 years ago, almost entering my 8th year as a superintendent when I got to be given the title of superintendent. And so that journey is definitely something that we each carry, and how we tell our stories and how we use our stories to help support the trajectory of others is so, so important. And so I'm going to start with you on a question. And so today's closing talk is about spark. And so each one of those letters means something. And I want you to lean into one of the things or 2 or 3 of your big takeaways from this conference. And so spark, let's talk about this question. How was your passion-driven leadership sparked this week? I want you to go back to the first day, go back to yesterday and today. And I want you to think about it. And so that we have equal time for everyone to share, I want you to just share with not your whole table, just one person. So try to pair off, because then there'll be equal time for you to talk. All right? So look at somebody, make eye contact at your table. All right? If you have 5, I ask you to kind of maybe join someone else that's a singleton around the room. All right? And you're each going to get about a minute. Turn and talk and tell them what is something that sparked your passion again for leading. Ready, set, go.
Literally the root of the root chakra. To understand that we're cultivating and recycling that energy and that power within you to unlock your past lives. I guess just broken life. Right? So I believe that it's operating at a higher point of higher point of self-actualization, right? Because in order for you...
All right, I'm going to wind this up in about 10 seconds here. I went and surveyed our room, and I found a few ideas to share with you on what sparked your leadership and reinvigorated you. So as you wind down that conversation with your partners, I heard in the back of the room how the workshop on Tier 1 instruction was so important to reminding ourselves how important that first effective teaching is. So thank you to the team who brought that, because that was something that sparked their leadership. I also heard in the back of the room on this side about leadership and about passion and purpose. How do we make sure that every day we walk into a building that we still have the same passion and purpose for the work that we're leading? So those are a couple of them. And then here in the middle of the room, I heard recognition from my friend Justin on storytelling and how important that is for us to continue to tell stories. And I will also tell you, I met 2 incredible people, Ashley and Andrew over here, and we were talking in the morning about people and how when you find the gifts of the students that we serve and connect them with their purpose and finding out, is it college, is it career? And she said, one of my sister Soups, Dr. Susan Einfeld, shared that with her. So I'm going to make sure that I text her later and let her know. We all need that passion, and it's fulfilled through sparks between each other and letting someone else know when that is something that is impacting them as well. So, spark, here we go. So the first one is service. As you walk away today, I want you to remember service. What is service all about? Service is making sure that everything that we do is rooted in how we provide the environments that our students need to thrive. How a leader needs value and support in order to continue the work that they do. So when you walk away today, I want you to think about service, because a lot of today's message, as well as the last 2 days from hearing from each of you, service is a critical part in that word spark. So we spark, ignite, and fulfill when we remember that our job is to serve others within our organizations. The next one, the P, is about passion. How do you remain passionate about the work that you get to lead? I absolutely love being a superintendent. I really, really do. Even on some of those days when I'm sitting in the corner like a cat licking my wounds because I got slapped around, I still love it. Oh, I just threw the remote control if somebody could help me. And I also knocked the battery out of it. So sorry. I guess I was licking my wounds too much there. But the passion is what drives us to do this work, right? It's under the chair, the other battery. Can you click it to the next slide for me, gentlemen? Because we just roll. And I only have 7 minutes left, so we're going to make this happen. But the passion is definitely what we do to help support each other. But that's what I bring every day. That's what you bring every day to make sure that we together can overcome almost any challenge. Can you click the next slide for me on the computer? Perfect. Thank you. Advocacy. This is a really big one. And across the nation, how are we advocating for those that we serve as well? Going back to that first one, if you'll click the next slide. Advocacy is not just only about the students that we serve, but absolutely bringing in opportunities and making sure that our students and our colleagues are served, but also around our leaders. If we're not advocating for our profession and keeping the spark of love of learning alive, I was speaking to some of my friends here from Dallas ISD that got to bring their whole team, just like our sisters in the back said. And when you get to bring a team together, you start grounding in that purpose again. And it sparks something in them, thank you, my friend, to be able to love what you do. So advocating could be students and bringing in programs that you know are going to help support them. But it also could be advocating for your teams to be able to come to a conference like this, to be able to continue to build on what you've done and where you want to go this next school year, because it's going to come really fast. So that's the A in Spark. And then R is one of my absolute favorites, relationships. I met Kevin, I met so many of you through social media, and the beautiful thing about that is you get to see your real story. And I am one of those that will post and celebrate my people to the next level because I want them to know how much I love them, and they know that I would move mountains for them. And that's because of the relationships. And one thing I will tell you, and I do have an opportunity here to share with you a quick story about cultivating relationships and how important it is, one child at a time, one adult at a time, one parent at a time, one community member at a time can change a complete narrative in a positive direction. So how you look at the exchanges of moments in time that could last a lifetime. You heard when I was up here and I shared a lot. And sometimes, I don't know about you, when you guys do leadership moments and you're up in the front or you're talking and you just go into like mode and you want to share everything about, your lived experience, their lived experience. And you're just like, oh yeah, I did say that. And at the end of that, I don't even remember half of what I said because it comes directly from your heart. And so they're like, oh my God, you went to Tim. I did say that, right? Tim Cook was there. Yeah, he was. And so that moment for my children who I got to take, they never, ever forget. They're now in high school and they still come and, Mrs. Galvan, thank you so much for taking us over there. That changed my life. I want to study computer science. I'm going to be a software engineer. And so every one child at a time is going to make that difference for all of us and for them most importantly. And then last, I post every single morning some inspirational quote because I don't know and you don't know the stories that people are living, the exchanges of things that they're enduring in this moment in time. And oftentimes people look at us as inspiration, but they don't even know how we are inspired by others just as much as we inspire those around us. And so treating people with deliberate kindness is really, really important. So with the relationship and the kindness, I just want to leave you with understanding how important it is that those exchanges make a difference. And so I will tell you one little story about Ruby. Ruby was a first grader. She's now going into fourth grade. And I was doing a career day with Miss Little Ruby over at school at Cesar Chavez Elementary School. doing my thing, delivering the speech, telling them what a superintendent is. They're first graders, rolling around the floor thinking, okay, all right, we'll see if we can do this. Got them back. And at the end, when we say, oh, what do you want to be now? What do you want to be? You heard from so many different careers: police officer, lawyer, nurse, football player, soccer player. And then I looked at Ruby, and Ruby said, Mrs. Galvan, I'm going to be you. I'm going to be you. Because I think I can. I said, well, Ruby, we better get on it. I better come back tomorrow. We're going to have lunch. I better tell you all about this because I'm not going to be here forever, and you need to be prepped for it. And so little Ruby, because of the exchange and what I got to tell her that day, has now transformed. And every time I see her, she's ready to tell me about what she's done next to build her portfolio to be the superintendent. All right. And so finally, as we close out today, and Spark was really it. What was the S for? Service. Never forget that we are here on this earth to serve others through whatever God's gifts that He has bestowed upon us. The P, what is the P for? Passion. Be you, be true to you, live you. If you are not around people who let you be you, there are so many other districts in this great nation that want you, like Greenfield. So figure that out, and I'll be waiting for you. What's the A for? Advocacy. Advocate for those. Be bold, be brilliant, be beautiful you, but make sure that you're advocating for those within your responsibility. What's the R? Relationships. How do you cultivate, nurture, groom, and maintain relationships through those exchanges? And what's the K for? Kindness. Kindness. That's one thing that I can give to, pay tribute to my mother, who passed away a couple years ago, and has taught me to really be kind and to take care of others through the work that we do, because that's what she did, and she was a model for me in how she lived out her passion-driven Christian life. And so finally, I'm going to have you take out your phone one more time, because this is how we're going to end it today, because joy is the root of everything. First of all, check your text message. Did anybody write you back? Raise your hand if they wrote you back. Look at this. You just sparked beautiful gratitude in the people that you get to exchange life with. And so spark a joy. I'm going to have you stand up for this one. Everybody stand up. All right. I want you to make eye contact with someone in the room that's not at your table. And then give them a high five. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to find someone in the room, and then sit down with them as soon as you find them. Ready? 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You need to be sitting. That's how I know you found a partner. 1 and 0, the hero. All right, everyone, if you're standing, find yourself a little comfortable seat so you can have your partner. And here's what you're going to do. Phone again. Open up your photos. Open up your photos. Find a picture that brings you joy. Find a picture that brings you joy. When you find it, stand up. So then I know you're ready to share. Find a picture that brings you joy and stand up. As soon as you're standing, I know you found your photo. Find a picture that brings you joy and stand up. We have a few people still seated. They must have lots of cool pictures on their phone. They can't decide. I bet you some of them have 2 or 3. All right. Now that you found that picture, turn to your partner. Each of you have about 30 seconds. Tell your partner why that picture brings you joy. Ready, set, go. right, and I'll end right here with one example here as we close out. What was a picture on your phone? Who was it of?
My sons.
How many of you had children in your pictures that give you so much joy?
My mother holding our new kitten.
Aw, how many of you are animal lovers and your mom was in one of those pictures? Beautiful. One more.
Well, the same sons that she showed.
Oh, that's right. This was the hairdo.
Yes.
Same sons. So I want to thank you for allowing me this opportunity to close you out for today. Spark is something that how we live our lives, how we dream big, be true to you, and continue to experience that joy. I put my contact up there if we want to follow each other on social media. But thank you so much. And I also gave you the QR code if you like this cute little slide deck to share this spark of joy with your own teams. So happy. Ideas are meant to be shared. They're not owned. So thank you so much for allowing me this few minutes with you. Have a wonderful rest of your night.